Hello and welcome to yet another video by Black Bear Dog Trading. It is Friday, January the 3rd, and in this video, I'm going to go over the updates that I've made to the actual bot as well as to the on-chart symbol indicator. I will explain to you what the panel means and what all the different configurations are with the bot. If you haven't downloaded the latest upgrades and installed them on your MT4 platform, I urge you to do so. I've made quite a few enhancements to make it much more user-friendly. So let's get started. First, I'll start with the indicator, which is installed on the remaining charts other than the actual trading chart. And the one enhancement I made is that it will verify the chart that has the trend strength indicator, which is this indicator right here, installed on it. And then it will confirm that the time frame of this chart matches the time frame of this chart. It will tell you if it does, and it will tell you if it doesn't. For example, if I change this to, let's say, 4 hours, doesn't matter what I take, now the message changed. Time frame is not the same. There's a reason why I made this message. It is so that you have a more accurate view of the actual trend strength for your trading chart. So it's okay, you could leave it at this, it won't give you a trading error, but the trend doesn't accurately reflect the trend on your actual trading chart. So that's why I made this. Like I said, I wrote this originally all for myself and I knew how it all worked, but I realized that you guys are not in that position. So I've made it so that it's a bit more intuitive and a bit more user-friendly for you. So if I set it back, let's go set it back to 30 minutes to match the chart, my trading chart. Now it'll tell you right there, time frame is the same. And as you see, also the trend signal got updated as well. So that's the first change that was made, and it will prevent you from looking at a trend that is on a different time frame. The second changes are all in the bot itself. I click on the little smiley face, and this is what I now have. The first part is the same, where you enter the amount that you funded your account with, your risk percentage, your default stop loss, which I recommend you do not change, and your maximum slippage, which I explained in a previous video, gives you a little bit of leadway since we do market orders as to the orders being accepted or rejected. And that is 3 is a good number. You can go as high as 5. It doesn't really matter, but 3 seems to work flawlessly, so I suggest you leave it at 3. Here's where the changes come in. I've categorized this bot has the ability to do 4 different trading strategies. It's the MACCI, which is the one that I use exclusively, almost exclusively. I'd say a good solid 98% of the time. It has the support and resistance breakout routine included, the support and resistance retracement routine included, as well as the M and a W pattern. So all those that are set to no obviously will not be active at that moment. Only the one that is yes is active, and you see which routine you're on. It is displayed right above the trade panel right here. So let me, for argument's sakes, change this to breakout, for example, and I now click on OK, and with the next stick coming in, there you go, it now tells me that I am set to breakout. It automatically added support and resistance levels to it. You get a whole new different explanation of whatever of the things the bot is checking. So it automatically adjusts according to the strategy that you pick. There is two things worth noting. Number one, you can only have one strategy at a time. If you were to open multiple strategies, the bot will tell you right here with a pop-up message, please trade one strategy at a time. It's done for your own security. And by the way, if you leave it at multiples, the program will cease to operate. As you see, everything got blanked out. And it's done so that you can focus on one specific strategy. So trade one at a time. Secondly, if you set everything to no, that means you're telling the bot that you are now in manual mode and you'll do your own analysis, your own trading, and here you go. It tells you right here now, I am in the manual mode. So that means if I need to calculate my lot sizes on my own, I need to enter it here and select what I want to do, buy or sell. I need to check and see when a good entry point is, and so forth and so on. So it allows you to do manual trading. As I said, I mostly trade the MACCI, so I'm going to set that back to yes. And for now, I'm going to activate this, click on OK. At the next tick, that will pop up and it will be activated. Now, there it is, and it tells me that I'm with the MACCI. Now, if you choose whatever trading strategy you choose, there are configurations that go according with that. So scrolling down, here it goes, my MACCI configuration setup. You set your MA fast period, which is set to 13. I suggest you leave it at that. You can play with the numbers if you like, the period, but this is based on me having used this for a long time, and I find this to be the best settings for the MACCI strategy. So it's set to 13 for the period, 0 for a shift. That we use the simple method and we execute on close price. Then we have for the slow MA, again, set it to 20 based on experience, and the period is set to 20. The rest is the same, 0, simple, and close. And then I have my CCI period. Now, the CCI period should always match your MA period slow, the slow period. So 20 and 20, and I use the typical price, which seems to work best. So if I were to change this to a different number, let's say, for example, 10, then using that strategy, here you go, I get an alert, and the alert tells me that my CCI chart settings do not match. And that's because on my chart I have it to 20, and at the setup I have it to 10. So this is a notification that you must be in sync with what's displayed on the chart and what you have configured in your setup. So I'll go back and set this to 20 again. There you go. And I leave the apply to typical price. Buy zone and sell zones, you can play with this. I found out 40 works the best. That means pips. You can make it bigger, smaller. If you make it smaller, you'll have more trading opportunities, but also more fake signals. If you make it bigger, you'll have less trading opportunities, but more accurate. So you need to play with it. I found out for myself, 40 seems to be a good number. You can apply the colors to whatever you want them to be, as well as the line width and whatnot. Then, last but not least, the MACCI method will notify you when you have a possible trading opportunity, and it will display a up arrow or a down arrow based on the possible opportunity, buy or sell, above or below the arrow where that applies to. So this is what set distance in pips mean, and the distance is how far away removed from the bar do you want the arrow to display. If you're on a 30-minute chart, I suggest 5 pips. On a 4-hour chart, I suggest 20 pips. on a daily chart 50 pips, but you can play with this number and put in there anything that suits you. That's the end of the configuration for the MACCI. If you decide to use the breakout retracement routine instead, then the configurations for this are as follows. If you say display SNR labels, you set that to yes, it will actually show you support and resistance labels. Let me show you what I mean with this. Let me set this to no, and I want to now do the breakout routine, set that to yes. So now if I go down to the configuration for the breakout and retracement, I set this to yes, and I click on OK. It will now, with the next tick, there you go, it'll actually show you the words resistance and support. And if I were to set this to no, right here, then the labels will disappear, as you will see. There you go at the next tick. So this works exactly the same for the retracement option. Both the retracement, support and resistance breakout and retracement are strictly analyzed by the bot, and the bot will tell you whether you have a breakout or a retracement, whether it's a buy or a sell opportunity. Look back periods simply determines how far apart you want resistance and support to be. Again, based on my experience, and since I only look at current support and resistance, not past, I set this to 20, and that seems to be pretty much an ideal setting, but it's up to you. Last but not least, if we go to the M&W pattern configuration, so I would have to activate that in here. I set this to no, and I go to the M and W pattern routine. I want to use this. Then the only thing I have to set is the where am I here? Here we go. W and M and W pattern configuration. The only thing I have to set is the price difference in tolerance. The bigger you make that number, the larger the tolerance will be. What do I mean with that? Well, let me show you an example. For example, the M and W pattern work as follows. From the bottom, it would be a W formed, which means price may continue upwards. From the top, it would mean it would form an M as a pattern, and it means price may continue downwards, offering a sell opportunity. The tolerance determines how far the distance is from the midpoint to the top. Same for the W, from the midpoint to the bottom. The larger you make this number, the greater the pattern will be. For example, 5 is roughly about what I drew here. Let's say that I were to set this to 10, and the bot will now look for a pattern that will look something like this. Or maybe even something like this. So the actual pattern of the candlesticks become larger. So again, this is up to you. I like it smaller. It gives me more opportunities. Truth be told, there are also a few more less accurate opportunities in there. I wouldn't call them fake, but I would call them false signals. So play with this and find out for yourself if you're interested in using this pattern. When you have the M and W pattern configured set to yes, and you click on OK, your chart will change yet again. As you now see, it automatically draws in the trend line because the M and W pattern is based on the direction of the trend. And as you noticed at the panel, you have basically no explanation other than a few items here, which I'll get into in a minute. because the bot will notify you with an up arrow or a down arrow whether or not there is an M pattern formed or a W pattern. And then you take it from there whether or not you want to enter a buy trade or a sell trade. Again, I almost always use the MACCI, so I'm going to set it back to the MACCI. And let's scroll down. At this point in time, this is as far as strategy routine configurations are concerned. Now we have additional features. We can, if we want to, set up support and resistance ratio, risk ratio, and I highly suggest you leave this at yes. You determine what risk, reward to risk ratio you want to have. I leave it at 1. That means I have an equal distance from my entry point for the risk as I have for my take profit. By activating this and having it set to yes, the bot will automatically draw the stop loss and the take profit on your chart. You don't have to manually configure that. And that's based, of course, A, on your ratio, and 2, on the number of pips you use for your stop loss. I use 100. You can use less, you can use more. It's easy to change. Double click, type in the number you want, and you're done. The same with your ratio. Okay. Personally, I prefer it this way. I can always manually adjust it afterwards if I have to. Trailing stop, I also set this to yes. This simply means that once I am in profit, and I take a partial profit, which I have activated as well, my trailing stop will be activated and it will increment every 50 pips. Last but not least, I have a set take partial profit, which means that every time I reach $50 in profit, the bot will notify me, hey, I've reached my partial profit limit. Do you want to take it, yes or no? And I'll show you when I actually trade how this comes in very handy. You can change that amount to what you want. I have it usually set at 75, but for starting purposes, until you get the hang of it, 50 is a nice amount. Last but not least, there is, well, not last but not least, there's another option which is generic, but you also have the ability, if you wanted, to draw just a trend line on the chart by itself without having to trade the M and W patterns. If you would like to see, visually see where the trend is actually going, and if it pretty much coincides with the trend strength indicator that you have on the chart below. I always have this to know. I have no use for that, and I pretty much use this bottom trend strength indicator here to tell me where the market is at the moment trend-wise. Last but not least, here are generic configurations, which allows you to change the colors of the panel, the trading panel, and that's about it. And finally, there is a display alert. If you, I have it defaulted to yes, but you can change that easily by setting it to no. What that means is that all the help messages that I have now included in this bot, if you set it to no, will not appear on your trading platform. You will hear a sound, and if you have activated your mobile MT4 platform, linked it with your PC based MT4 platform, you will also get an alert on your phone, but other than that, you will not get a visual pop-up message on the PC side of the platform. So if you set this to yes, which I have, it will then actually pop up actual messages, and it will tell me how and what. Messages that you can expect to have is, number 1, I reached my my partial trading profit. Number 2, I have a possible order entry or a possible sell entry. Number 3, it may be time to close your buy or sell order. And also messages, as you saw already, where the setup in the bot doesn't match what I have laid out on my charts. I urge you to rewatch this video. It's quite a bit of information to absorb, but it's not that complicated. In fact, it's not complicated at all. So just rewatch the video a few times and you will have it. Next, moving on to our panel. Our trade panel shows information that is based on the strategy you have chosen to trade with. As you can see, it shows you at the very top the strategy you're in. Then it shows you basically the currency you're trading, what time frame you're trading, as well as the direction of the current price, which is entirely based on tick. So every tick is displayed here, up, down, sideways. Down is red arrow, up is blue arrow, and side is horizontal double pointed black arrow. So it doesn't really, and there you go. This means we're sitting still or the bar has not moved at all. So then we have the day, the month, the time, and the date, and that is based on local time, not server time. And we have the volume per candle. Each time a new candle starts, this starts at 0 and then moves up. The bigger the volume number is, the more people are trading and the more volatility there will be, and the more the likelihood that you will have a possible trading opportunity. But also be aware that volatility means it can go up and down, yo-yoing back and forth. So you still have to do your own acuteness, your own analysis, despite what the bot tells you, and decide for yourself, is this a good opportunity to enter, yes or no? Now, as far as information displayed here, when you trade the MACCI, you get things that are specific to it, as you do when you trade the SNR breakout or retracement. What is constant are the three titles right here. The first one is the lot size, which is automatically calculated based on your deposited amount. I can't stress this enough. This is not your typical trading where you increase your balance and your lot size gets in recalculated on your new balance. I don't operate this way. Please rewatch or watch my previous videos how I trade. I have a very unique and very specific way of trading. Increasing my account balance is not one of my desires in trading. So again, I want to make it very clear, the lot size is calculated on the initial deposit, and once you have more money in the account than your initial deposit, the lot size will still be calculated on the initial deposit. It's only when you go below your initial deposit that the lot size will be calculated on the new amount or the account balance. Then the spread, which is provided by your broker. I just simply display it as you see. Here we go. I just got a notification. This is what you would get if you activate your display alerts in your setup. Now it tells me that the Euro USD price went above and I have a possible buy order position possible. It popped a green arrow up just below the bar that gave that signal, and I can click on OK to get rid of this message. And now it's nearly up to me whether I want to enter that buy position, yes or no. Before I do that, I always verify not only what the bot is telling me, but with my own eyes, if what it's telling me is accurate. And at the time the bot tells me that the CCI is in buy, it's above the buy zone, which is buy. The direction of the CCI is up, which is buy. The fast moving average, or the 13, is above the slow moving average, or the 20, which is buy. The fast moving average is moving up, which is buy. The slow moving average is going up, which is buy. The price is above the moving averages, which is buy. The only thing here is that the bar is currently a bear bar. If this really would be ideal that I would enter this trade, it would also say that the bar is a bull bar. Not only that, from my personal analysis, not considering what the bot tells me, I can see that we are pretty much here at a resistance level. Look how many hits there are right here. And I just want to wait and see if price will actually move above this. And if it does, then I will simply click on the buy button here, and I've entered a buy position. I'm glad this popped up during this video so you get to see how this works. So this is really it as far as the MACCI is concerned. I suggest that you practice with it on a demo account until you get the hang of it. Come Monday, I will talk to you about how to trade the support and resistance, because this is getting too long. And then after that, I will focus strictly on getting into actual trading positions. Okay, this is it for now. Have a wonderful weekend. Please stay safe. And as always, God bless.